Welcome back everyone to Neo Racing. We are at Mount Panorama for round one of our variety series on Gran Turismo Sport. Danny Quiver is the host of this one this season. We are in the Porsche 911 GT3. We are getting ready for a start. Bidster on pole from Callum. Off we go. Great start by everyone. A little bit of jostling in the midfield, but we're all the way well. Let's see if we all get around the first corner cleanly. Bidster's in the lead. We've got a few cars side by side. Lillian takes to the gravel a little bit and Jones Zero, but apart from that, everyone through the first corner cleanly. Fantastic start by everyone. We've got Neil and Domingo side by side. Bidster and Callum just pulling away in front. Callum having a little look at Bidster, but I think Bidster's going to hold on to it. He's keeping the inside line. Jamo and Man of Steel side by side. Quite a few people side by side as we all head up the mountain section. I think someone ran wide there. I think that might have been Lillian, but coming up to the narrow section now. As we've got TY right behind Jay Hewson there, putting the pressure on. Neil's just got past Jay. Oh, Jay's in the wall. Jay Hewson's in the wall. That's going to compromise his speed all the way up the hill. As we come up the hill now, everyone close. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. As they come up the mountain and towards the dipper as they head down the other side. Everyone close. Jay Hewson a bit slow there. Jamo behind him. With Man of Steel side by side through the dipper, they're mad. As they go through the dipper, I think everyone's got through there. Oh, a little bit of attack from Man of Steel, causes a Constantina effect. But everyone's got away well there. And oh, Seek and Lillian contact. We'll get some replays on that. But Man of Steel and Jamo got away with that one. As we see Lillian recovering there. Here's a replay on board with Lillian going into the dipper on the first lap. Let's see what happened here. So Mr. Sloan has a little look up the inside of Seek and then finds a wall. Lillian has nowhere to go. And then going down the dipper here, you'll see in front there's a little Constantina effect as someone runs wide. They all slow up. Lil sees a gap on the inside of Seek, but there wasn't really a gap there. And then Seek closes it down and then there was contact. And then that's what happened. Seek won there in 12th as well. After that incident, we've got Neil and TY side by side on the straight. No, nothing between them. Not an inch given. TY says, thank you, that's mine. Onto the brakes, into the chicane. Oh, a bit wide there though. Neil's going to be able to go. Fab, we've got an incident in the background. Jamo's off. Man of Steel's off. And I think that was Danny Quaver as well that was off. Let's have a look. I don't know, but you're definitely Jamo and Man of Steel off, so we'll get a replay on that. Here's a replay of the Man of Steel Jamo incident on the first lap, so you can see coming down here. Man of Steel just makes an error out of the corner and then just misses braking point, hits Jamo, and then Danny Quaver has nowhere to go but into Man of Steel there, so that's what happened. But all apologies were made and Jamo resumed the position. As we rejoin the leaders, we've got Bidster ahead. There he is in first place. Second, Callum. We're giving chase. Third, Domingo. I should mention to everyone, I should have said this at first, apologies, but Boost is on for this race. And we've got fuel and tyres on as well. Fuel on ×6. Tyres on ×8. So the tyres will come into effect. And the fuel, and we do start with 50 litres of fuel, so we'll see pit stops very soon. Might even be this lap or the next lap, because they can only do about 5 laps, 6 laps on a full tank. So this will be interesting. As we have a little look back, there's Jonesy Roar and Seek 1. Oh, Jonesy running a bit wide there, Seek closing up as Jamo's and Man of Steel recovering there. Mr. Slow One's had a little off as well. So as we rejoin near the front, let's have a look. We've got Callum and Bidster still running close. Callum's a bit closer to Bidster now. Don't know whether Bidster's saving a bit of fuel, but Callum's closer to Bidster now. And making the dipper, both of them making the dipper look effortless as they come down through the mountain. As TY catching up to he's catching up to Domingo. He's sort of ditched Neil and he's after Domingo now. Danny Quaver and Jay Hewson very close as well. Some brilliant battles in this race. And just so you're aware, in this 10-week Variety Series Championship, no race is the same. We have an endurance 1 week, which is this week for double points, a bit like the Project Cars 2 layout, and then we have normal points for 2 sprint races, which is going to be next week's race. So you'll see how that pans out. You have to stay tuned to Neo Racing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As everyone comes into the pits, apart from Bidster. Bidster goes round again. So that's what we were saving a bit of fuel for. And everyone is coming into the pit. See all the pit crews getting ready there. I think, yeah, absolutely everyone. This is going to be the world's busiest pit lane. Apart from Man of Steel, he goes round as well. So we'll have to see where they all come out. So there's Bidster making his way round. Man of Steel goes round as well, but we'll have to see where everyone else comes out in retrospective to him as they all head round. There we are, Man of Steel going round the first corner. There's Danny Quaver in the pits, seat 1. People are starting to come out the pits now. I'll just try and get the camera sorted out, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got Man of Steel second. TY comes out the pits, first of the people out the pits in 3rd place. Callum goes back to 4th, so he's actually lost time in the pit lane there. So unlucky for Callum, but we'll have to see. The boost will hopefully help them catch up. So it's about a race. It's as much a race on strategy as it is a race on pure pace in this one, because you've got to think about the boost. Because even though Callum's come out in 4th, he's going to have a bit more boost than TY. So we'll have to see how this pans out. And the boost really only starts taking effect when you get below 5th or 6th place. So Danny Quaver and Neil Yam and all them down there, they will have a lot more boost than the others will. It's just on to keep these, some of the people at the back who don't necessarily have the pace, just to get them up there and get involved in the racing. And it's working out. So this race will be, the endurance race will have boost on, as Lilian hits the wall there, and he's got Mr. Sloan coming up behind. Mr. Sloan messed up the dipper, I think. He's got Jay Houston all over the back of him, but he keeps hold of it. Oh, very sideways again. Don't get me wrong, it looks good, but it's not the fastest way down the dipper. But yeah, as we were saying, the endurance race, which is this one, the 50-minute endurance races, they will be double points. And then we have 2 sprint races next week, which will be normal points. But for the sprint races, there is no tyres and fuel on, so it's a pure dash from start to finish. So it's going to be fantastic racing this season. As Bidster's in the pits now, 2 litres of fuel less. This should be a slightly longer pit stop from Bidster, so we'll see what tyres he goes on to as well. As TY comes round the last corner, there's Callum, and we've got Man of Steel eventually coming into the pits, but he'll have a bit of boost at the back. So as we've got 2 cars side by side there, Mr. Slow One and Danny Quaver. Danny Quaver gets the position. Mr. Slow One has a bad run out. Jay Houston will have a look now, probably into the first corner. Here he goes. All the positions changing because of the pit stops. Jay Houston goes through. 7th place for Jay, 8th place for Mr. Slow One. We'll have to watch where Man of Steel comes out as well. There's Lilian, Seek 1, Jamo, as close as that. It's fantastic to see the field so close together. Man of Steel still fueling up, so he's going hopefully for a full tank. We're going to try and go a bit longer as we see Mr. Slow One still keeping with Jay Houston, piling on the pressure. Let's have a little look further up. Bidster's come out in 4th behind Neil, so Bidster's come out a bit further behind Callum there, so not worked out for Bidster as yet, but the thing is the booster's on, so it's still too early in the race to see what's going to happen. We've just got to focus on the action and see what happens. And there we go, we've got Mr. Slow One with Lilian right behind him, piling the pressure on. He's not going to think about moving to there, surely. No, backs out of it, sensible stuff. As now they head down towards the dipper, we've got other 2 cars close behind as well. That's Seek 1 and Jamo making a comeback as they all go through the dipper. There's Jay Houston's very, very close behind Danny Quaver. Oh, and Mr. Slow One's made an error, and Lilian goes through. He's all over, he's bouncing off the walls, practically playing pinball. As we go out of the Forest Elbow down onto the Conrod Straight. Fantastic track this, down the hill and then back up the other side, everyone in the draft. Then you've got the little kink on the Conrod Straight, and then we've got into the chicane. As a bit further ahead, Bidster's back behind Neil now, just trying to figure out a gap through as we look at this battle behind Jay Houston, Danny Quaver and Lilian all together. Oh, we've got cars off. Mr. Slow One's gone off. I think he must have, did he fall or was he pushed? We'll get a replay. Here's a replay on board with Mr. Slow One on lap 4. Let's see if he did fall or he was pushed. As we go, getting really late on the brakes, the car's squirming, he can't get it stopped onto the grass. So yeah, it was just his own mistake, so unlucky there for Mr. Slow One. As we focus on the battles ahead. Everyone cleanly through that bit of track. Through the first corner, very well there. As we go, Danny Quaver and Jay Houston looking to go side by side up the hill. We'll have a quick glance ahead, see what's happening. Bidster's got past Neil. We missed that. Bidster's got past Neil and he's going to try and go around the outside of Callum now. He's going to go around the outside. He's going to stick with him side by side. Great stuff. As they go around, I think Bidster's gone around the outside of him. Fantastic move from Bidster there. Round the outside. We'll just see how the Danny Quaver and Jay Houston battle turned out. Jay Houston's won that. And Jay Houston into 6th place. Danny Quaver down to 7th. And Seek 1 8th player. Jay Houston's in the wall. All that hard work thrown away. As he's now got Seek 1 behind him. He's got to be careful not to make too many mistakes. As he comes up the hill. Let's have a little look ahead. We've got Neil Farmack, Callum very close. Bidster in 2nd now. He's after TY. Oh, using all the curbs. And Callum with Neil right behind him as we look at the back at this other pack back here. Jay Houston, Seek 1 into the dipper. Oh, Jay Houston looks like he's carrying loads of speed into there. Practically closed up to Danny Quaver in 3 corners. As they go down towards the Forest Elbow. Into the Forest Elbow around the corner. Oh, Danny's run wide. That's going to compromise his speed onto the straight. As we all go side by side, lovely camera shot there. And Jay Houston's got the power, so Danny Quaver's obviously turned it down to a lower engine mode just to try and save a bit more fuel. As Seek 1 and Jonesy Raw catching up to these now, practically 4 into 1. This is going to end in tears. As you go down the end of the Conroe straight, everyone on the brakes. Seek 1 moves out to overtake Jonesy Raw and thinks twice about it because Jonesy Raw just takes his normal line. TY's into the pits. As we go into the last corner, Jay Houston ahead in 6th place, leading this little pack of cars. And there's Neil Farmack Domingo ahead, so Bidster resumes the lead as all these are still battling for position. Seek 1 still having a stab at Jonesy Raw. Goes at the inside into turn 1. Jonesy Raw says, "Not on your life, sunshine," that's my line. And goes ahead. Jumbo rocking the Sprite sponsorship there on his Porsche as they go up towards the 2nd corner, the long uphill start of the mountain climb. Practically 5 cars in 1 camera shot, fantastic stuff as they come up the hill. Jonesy Raw and Seek 1 side by side again. Sure, they're not going to try and move there, but no. And Jamo! Jamo with the ever opportunistic move there on the inside, but that's to back out of it and just give Seek 1 a little tap to make good friends as they come up the hill. I think a bit of rubbing and shoving back there. Lil Yam getting involved in everything now. As they go through the mountain section, and Seek 1's lost the back end, and bang, it's all happened. Big crash. Oh dear, Man of Steel gets involved in that as well. We'll get some replays on that for sure. Right, here's the view of the crash on lap 6 on board with Jonesy Raw. So you see he's a bit slow up there. And then he hits the wall there and slows Seek 1 up, and then Jamo runs into him, and then that causes the Constantina effect behind. And here's the view from Jamo's point of view. So we go over the mountain. Jonesy Raw holds Seek up, and then bang, Jamo's nowhere to go, and then behind us just causes the Constantina effect. No one's fault that really. Now let's go on board with TY, who I think in this crash was the luckiest man alive. As we go down here, we'll see the Seek slow up. Jamo hits him, causes a Constantina effect, and TY very lucky not to get involved in that. Good avoidance. As Mr. Slow One comes through and just avoids the incident there and loses the car himself. Wrong place, wrong time for Mr. Slow One. As Jamo and TY now in 9th. So TY's gone back to 9th place. As they go down the Conrod straight. All very close together. I think we've got a little battle up ahead. We've got Domingo and Neil, but it's going to be a battle that goes to the pits as they both head into the pits now. So them two head for the pits. Callum and Bids to go round again. So Bids has got some good pace here. He's still controlling this race. 2 minutes 4.3 last time round. 2 minutes 6 for Callum. So Callum's definitely in the more eco-saving fuel mode. Bids is just absolutely going for it here. As we've got Jay Houston comes up in third now. Jamo fourth. TY fifth. A few other people have gone into the pits, so it's just going to spread out and out for another couple of laps while people make the pit stops. Man of Steel 7th place. Mr. Slow One in 8th, as we've got, there's the pit stop people. Danny Quaver, King Domingo coming out now, and practically nose to tail, and they join Seat 1 as they rejoin So Neil comes up just behind Seat 1, and then Danny Quaver's coming out now. So Danny Quaver out in 12th, and Liliam have taken a very, very slow pit stop there, used up a bit more fuel than everyone else. So a bit of a longer pit stop for Liliam as they head up the mountain. But we'll just go to the nearer the top of the mountain where TY and Jay Houston are quite close there. Jamo trying to catch up, and Man of Steel and Jonesy Roar even closer. As they go up the mountain, Jonesy Roar finds the wall, and Mr. Slow One follows him. As they head now up the mountain. Neil's very close to the back of Seat 1 here. I know, got Seat 1 on the grass. I think that was Seat 1. I missed that, but car went on the grass. There's Jonesy Roar goes wide. It must have been Jonesy Roar, and Mr. Sloan gets caught up in that as well. And Neil Farmer gives him a push, saying, "Come on, get on with it. Go, go, go." There's the old Constantina up. Mr. Sloan there recovers. Danny Quaver coming down now. As all through the Forest Elbow back onto the straight again. As we look at the leader, here we go. Bids doing the lead. He's going round again, so he's going a bit longer on this one. Callum into the pits, so Callum going for a shorter stop with more. He's got 19 litres left, so Bids obviously taking it down right to the brim. Right, should I say to vapour? TY comes through. Jay Houston, Jamo battle to the pits now again. Again, it's about tyres, strategy and pace in this one. Jay Houston. I think Jay Houston there missed the pit lane. He absolutely missed the pit lane, and he's just stopped. He's going to have to go round the track again. So very unlucky there for Jay Houston. There's too much speed into the pit lane as everyone else goes into the pit. That's ruined Jay Houston's race, but with the boost on, he might be able to make some kind of a comeback. So we'll keep an eye on it as Callum rejoins the pits, and we see Mr. Slow One there in the background, just taken to the gravel, just a bit too much speed into the corner there. But Callum's come back out in 5th. There's TY in 2nd place, Neil 3rd, Domingo 4th, Callum 5th. As we look at everyone else who's just come out of the pits, Liliam coming round there in 10th place. We've got Seek, Jonesy and Man of Steel into the pits now. Seek's on his way, full tank of fuel, another set of super softs. So he's going for a fast-paced race. As Jonesy Roar still in the pits, he's gone for hards this time. Man of Steel still on the super softs. So everyone out the pits now. Danny Quaver catching up to Mr. Slow One, putting the pressure on. Right behind him now, practically pushing him up the mountain. Mr. Slow One, it just goes a bit wide there. Danny Quaver's going to go around the outside, surely not. Whoa, brave stuff. Almost each wall, and now he's going to try and go up the inside into this corner. Fantastic move from Danny Quaver. Good opportunistic driving, and through into 6th place. Good move there. As Callum's in 5th now, he's on the catch up to King Domingo. And we've got Neil there in 3rd place, TY and then Bidster. So we've got very separate at the front. Bidster's last time round with 2 minutes 7, so must have made a little error somewhere, or he's really trying to save fuel. As he's into the pits now, Bidster's in. So Bidster into the pits. TY. There he goes. TY in 2nd place will probably take the lead unless he comes in. Neil Farmack through the straight, Domingo, and there's Callum. Boom! Lovely curb shot. Just shows you the real sense of speed. It's one thing with this Mount Panorama course, they got the cameras right. Very, very good camera work as Mr. Slow One just closes right up on the brakes at Danny Quaver there. So good driving by Mr. Slow One. Jamo there in 8th place. TY's coming as well. As we see Seek in 10th place. Let's have a look, see where Bidster's going to come out. He's gone out on another set. He's on mediums now. Bidster's on mediums, so Yeah, Bidster comes out on mediums. He's also got the number 1 in his car for the previous series champion. He won the Endurance Championship that we did last time, so he carries the number 1. It's optional, but he wanted to carry it this season. As Domingo's on the outside, none of them give it an inch into the brakes. Bidster the better on the brakes and keeps second place, and he's now after Neil. So Bidster's doing well here. He's doing well to keep the speed in the pit stops working well for him. Domingo 3rd, Callum 4th, and then TY in front of Danny Quaver in 5th place. And then Jamo and Liliam's all a bit more spread out now, but don't worry folks, it will close up, I can guarantee that. With the boost, we will not have a problem with having a low-key race, should we say. It's going to be a very, very high-key race. It's going to be very close indeed. Jamo coming up the mountain, taking a little bit of grass as he does so. Good driving there as we have a little look at the front. Let's have a look how these guys do the dipper. In one way and out the other. A little bit of grass there for Callum, but it's all good as he's on the catch-up for Domingo. It's a beautiful track, this mountain panorama course. It's a pleasure to drive, especially in a car like this. Good combination picked by our host Danny Quaver. As King Domingo comes down the straight now. Let's see if we've got any other cars a bit closer together in the background. Danny Quaver and Jamo's in the draft of him, so this could be a battle in the waiting as they come up. And out on the straight. Danny Quaver takes a lot of curb there. Lilian closes up on the brakes as well, so they're definitely going to close. And Danny Quaver's off onto the grass. Jamo can sense an opportunity now, goes to the right, but he's on the wrong side for the next corner unless some of them dive to the pits, which they're not. Danny Quaver defends the inside. Will Lilian have a look at Jamo? Jamo gives him space in case he wants to, and then Jamo just... Oh, Jamo makes a mistake there and Lil hits him, but we'll get a replay and see if there was actually contact there. Right, here's on board with Lilian to look at the contact between him and Jamo. So look at the corner, Danny Quaver's slow. Lilian's thinking, which side do I go, which side do I go? Then decides to fall in behind. Danny Quaver goes ahead on the brakes, but then Jamo leaves the door open. Lilian's in there, and then Lilian just too fast into the corner and taps Jamo around. But he does wait for Jamo. And does he let him back through? Yes, he does. Good racing there by Lilian, so well done. As they go out of that corner, and then here we are, TY closing up on Callum now, so TY's on the move. Must be on fresh softs or super soft to get that kind of pace. You can see the grip from that car. Phenomenal grip. As Bidster's now closing up to the back of Neil. I don't know why the blue flags are waving, because they're going to be battling for position. But yeah, Bidster coming up to the back of Neil now. There's Domingo 3rd, Callum 4th, TY 5th. So not many other people. Have we got a few? I think we might have a few battles back here. No, not yet. So we'll just keep an eye on the gap between Bidster and Neil, which is coming down rapidly. As Bidster's on those fresher medium tyres. So Bidster, yeah, you can see there's the pace difference. Neil's on used tyres, must be used softs, I would imagine. As they come down the Conrod straight, Bidster will be in the draft here. This shouldn't be too hard. As Neil looks like he might be heading for the pits this time. As yet Bidster moves out in the draft after getting a good run out in the previous corner and goes through. So Bidster into the lead. Neil Farmack down to second place. There's no point battling too hard at this stage of the race because it's all to play for later on. As Bidster resumes the lead, will Neil go to the pits this time? I would imagine so. Yes, he does. Neil into the pits. Locks up a little bit of a break as he does so. Then King Domingo coming in as well. Callum and TY go round again. Seek one there with Jamo behind him. Looking for vengeance from that little incident earlier that they had. And we've got a couple of, and we've got Danny Quaver and Lilian running quite close. As Neil's into the pits, as we saw earlier. Mr. Slow One there, Jonesy Rowe in 12th. Jay Hewson on absolute flying catch-up after losing a lap, because you see the boost working. Look at the grip he's got the speed. That's what you get when you go a lap down. Your car practically turns into a GR2 car from a GR3 car. So, looks like he's on for a blisteringly fast lap here to try and catch up. He unfortunately just went wide on the pit lane entrance and missed the pit lane, so he's had to go around again. But I'm sure with the boost he'll be caught up in a few laps as Lillian makes a mistake. Neil goes through. Lillian just a little twitch mid-corner there, just a little. His tyres must be going off as he makes a little mistake there. So he recovers to fight another day. Oh, Man of Steel very sideways at that previous corner. Fastest lap of the race last time round, Man of Steel, 1:59.2. Remember, that will be a bit of the boost as well, but also that'll be fresh tyres and pushing. So Man of Steel's on it. Got the Superman livery as always, and I tell you something, he's got the speed of Superman at this rate. He's catching Lillian very, very fast as they go over the little hill. Number 75 on his car. As they go down the dipper and the exit and towards the Forest Elbow, Lillian practically mowing the lawn. And I think you just let him through there because he made a little mistake. So Man of Steel up to 7th place. Mr. Slow One and King Domingo are looking now to make a move on Lillian. So that's all closed up there. Let's have a little look at the front. Callum and TY very close together. Callum and TY very, very close. This could go to the pit, so will it stay on track? Let's see. And TY, no. Callum defends. TY chooses to go to the pit lane and try and get track position after the pit stop, so he's just separated it out. Callum goes through, he's got track position. There we are, get it right the right way around. As TY comes into the box, Neil Farmack 5th, Man of Steel 6th, Domingo, Jamo and Lillian follow each other into the pits. So it's going to be another pit lane battle there as we look at Jonesy Rowe coming round in 11th place, Danny Quaver down in 12th, Jay Hewson still batting on. This is probably going to be a fastest lap of the race with that level of boost, because he's that far back, he's about half a lap behind. So just look at the grip, it's insane. Let's just watch him down the dipper here, 4/10 faster. It's practically a GR1. It's like a prototype car through there with the speed. We'll be loving that, how that car's handling, as Danny Quaver is in 10th place, Jamo 11th. And here's a battle for 5th place, Domingo, Man of Steel and TY. All battling for 5th place here. Man of Steel runs a little bit wide there, TY just trying to sense any opportunity he can, but there's not really going to be a way through here until they get to the dipper. Very much a single file bit of track, you've got to be very brave or very committed or just stupid to make a move around this mountain section. As they go towards the dipper now, you see the little bridge, and then they'll go under that bridge and then down into the dipper. Downhill, braking, turning, ultimate car control needed, and Man of Steel lacking that as he makes a mistake and TY goes through. So one mistake and he's lost a place. Mr. Slow One's his next victim. So Man of Steel loses a position there. Unlucky for Man of Steel, he's made a little error, that's all it takes. Jonesy Rowe 9th, Danny Quaver 10th, Jamo 11th, and Lillian 12th on catch up. Let's see if we can find any more battles on track here. We've got Seek 1 closing up to Neil Farmack. Let's have a look at the last lap time. It was 2 minutes for Neil, but that was an out lap out of the pits. There's Seek 1 showing true pace, 2 minutes 7. So Seek 1 might actually be due a pit stop here, so we'll have to see. Yes, he's coming in. So Seek 1 comes in, releases Domingo to catch Neil now. So Domingo 4th, TY 5th. There's another car coming into the pit lane there as well. That's Mr. Slow One into the pits. Mr. Slow One doing very well, even though booster's on. Very good pace from Mr. Slow One, usually at the back, and he's fighting up with everyone. So it's good experience here. As TY closed up to the back of Domingo, and he's going to the left, which will be the wrong side for the next corner. But Domingo's keeping the inside, keeping the defensive line. It's going to be as close as you like into this next corner, side by side. Battle of wit, battle of nerves. And TY, TY goes around the outside, sliding the car as he does so. Domingo keeps on the outside, but he's going to be on the wrong side for this next section. And he has to let TY go. Good racing between them two, very fair and clean. Just how we roll here in Neo Racing. As there we are, there's Neil just ahead. Callum on the catch-up of Bidster now. Bidster's at the end of the dipper and Callum just coming into it. So, a little bit of a gap there between them two. TY, Domingo, let's have a look, see if there's any other battles going on down the field. Danny Quaver in 7th, Jamo 8th, Lilian 9th. Seek 1 and Mr. Slow On as they've come out the pitch. They're still quite close. As they come out of that corner there. Seek 1 up the mountain. And there's Mr. Slow. I was talking about him earlier. He's running manual transmission in this championship. He's never run manual before in a championship, and he's doing very well to do it. He's not had the confidence to use manual yet, but he's doing it now, and we're very proud of him for doing so, because he's doing a fantastic show with it. Doing very well, as you can see here, closing up to the back of Seek 1. Mr. Sloan's been with Neo Racing since the start, since before it was even called Neo Racing. So he's very good to see him doing well. As we've got up ahead at the front, Callum into the pits. So Callum's in, Bidster's gone round. TY in 4th, Domingo 5th, so still all quite close, all to play for. No particular strategies showing any sign of weakness yet, so it's still close. We've got Man of Steel catching up to Danny Quaver, but he's going into the pits, so that releases some pressure off Danny Quaver there. So Man of Steel in, Jamo goes round, so Jamo moves up to 6th place now, because Callum's in the pit still, but I think Callum will be out shortly. There he is. Callum's out, full tank, set of softs, and off he goes. Out of the pits, and there's Danny Quaver behind, not close enough to make any kind of move. Lilian 8th. Seek 1 and Mr. Slow On still having a decent battle down at the back. Still quite close. And there's his leader, Bidster. Still in the lead. Doing very well. 2 minute 6, 2 minute 8 last time, so we must be saving a little bit of fuel just to try and eke out the time between pit stops. A little error there, but beautiful car control, just recovers it very well there, so very good from Bidster. As we look at Neil now, coming into the dipper, and then we've got TY just behind, so still could close up. There's King Domingo, there's Callum with a very spread out train behind him, Danny Quaver and Jamo, but looks like Jamo's catching up to Danny Quaver here, so this could be a little battle that's about to start as we come down the dipper. Oh, Danny Quaver's run wide, Jamo's going to close up now. That's all it tells. Jamo just has a little twitch himself, but nothing compared to what Danny did there. As they come into the Forest Elbow. And now onto the Conrad Straight. Building up the speed. Lilian there in 8th, on catch up. Bidster's in the lead, I can tell you Bidster is in the pits on the left hand side of your screen. There's Man of Steel coming through the dipper. And Jonesy Roar closing up behind him now. I've not seen much of Jonesy Roar in this race, but there he is. Neil's into the pits as well, TY in as well, so this will help Bidster out. Oh, sorry for the cameras there, folks, just caught a button. And there's Bidster filling up. Domingo takes the lead of the race. Callum might be second, depends where Bidster comes out, as we'll see in a minute. There's Domingo coming through, there's Callum. Let's see if we can find Bidster here. There's Bidster, he's rejoined in 2nd place, so he's ahead of Callum, so that's helped Bidster's cause there. So out onto another stint. Callum there in 3rd place. And here we go, a little battle back here. Danny Quaver and Jamo were side by side. Jamo gets ahead into the 2nd corner up the hill to start the mountain. Danny Quaver right behind him, not giving up. Lilian behind him. 5 cars close together, this is what we like. As we go into the complex section, and TY closes right up there. Seat 1 practically trying to push Lilian round the corner. TY side by side with Seat 1 now and goes through, and Lilian makes a mistake and he gets another position. Good opportunistic driving there by TY. Unfortunately for Lilian and Seat 1, there were just little mistakes as Lilian's not giving up. Tries to go around the outside of TY into there, that's not going to work, and Seat 1 and Lilian make contact there. 2 Belgians going at it, and Neil ever sensing the opportunity to go up the inside. And he's got it! Through! Not the tidiest of passes, but it'll do. He's through. and then Seek 1 and Lilian practically shoved down to 8th and 9th place respectively, as Seek makes a mistake there. Mr. Slow One closed up on the back of this, saying, wait for me boys, I want a chance. As they go on to the Conroe straight now, Mr. Slow One takes a wide line there to get a cut back, good. Wise driving there as Danny Quaver practically pushing TY down the straight. In the draft. Practically mounting his gearbox as they come through down the Conroe straight into the little kink and then into the tight left-right chicane, and Neil's up the inside of Danny Quaver. I don't know if you saw that coming. Up the inside, fantastic move from Neil Farmack there, good driving. Danny Quaver could do nothing about that as Seat 1 comes up behind him now, and Danny Quaver goes to the pits, everyone else goes round. There's Lil Yam having a little look up the inside of Seek, but to no avail. No opportunity there. As we see TY in 4th place, he's getting caught up by Neil and this bunch now, so the boost really taking effect now in this later stage of the race. Bidster still in the lead there, Callum's closed the gap a little bit. Jamo in 3rd, TY 4th, and everyone else trying to fight for 5th. There's Neil, Seek, and we've got Mr. Slow One and Lil Yam going side by side. Well, they're not quite side by side yet, but no, Mr. Slow One stays behind. Don't forget a good run up the mountain here. Will he have a little look up to the up at the start of the mountain? He's just putting his car to the left just to make it visible in Lil's mirrors. Lil makes a mistake. Mr. Slow One could take advantage here as they go side by side up the mountain, and Mr. Slow One round the outside. Good move on Lilian there. It was helped by the mistake, but still, you've got to have the stones to carry the manoeuvre through, and Mr. Slow One had the stones to do it. So well done, Mr. Slow One there. Definitely not living up to his name in this race. As Jamo in 3rd now with TY closing in from behind. TY on slightly fresh, yes, TY's fresh out the pit, so TY on fresh rubber here, so this should be an easy enough pass on Jamo, but still, Jamo doesn't let things slide. It's quite the wily competitor, Jamo, been with us for a while. One of the Neo Racing veterans. As they come down the straight, TY's closing up, and Jamo just keeps to that side. TY's got the inside for the King, but Jamo will have the inside for the next corner if he can keep side by side. TY has the overspeed, gets the position. 3rd place is TY's. Jamo down to 4th place. TY takes a little bit of grass as he does so, just doing a bit of strimming. And everyone, a little battle back here. And oh no, Lil Yam up the inside of Mr. Slow One. Or was that Seek? I didn't see. But Mr. Slow One gets practically shoved off. So we'll get a replay on that. As we see Jamo into the pits and a few others as well, Seek, so the cameras will just go a bit funny there. As TY in 3rd. Neil Farmack 5th, King Domingo now in 5th place. Mr. Slow On up to 6th after that incident with us. One of the Belgian guys back there. Let's see who it was. Oh, we've got a little bit of a camera problem there, but I do apologise. Jonesy Rose lost it into the last corner. Jonesy Rose completely lost it into the last corner. Danny Quaver's involved in that as well. Jonesy Rose very too hard on the power trying to recover. So we'll look at there for Jonesy Rose. As Lilian comes out the pits, Danny Quaver's there, so Danny Quaver's lost time, but don't worry, the boost will help. Jonesy Rowe there, and let's have a look at Jay Houston. Look how fast he's closed up to the back of that pack. Look at the lap times from lap 10, 57, 57.1, 57 nil, and then 58, slower tyres, and then a pit stop, and now 55. So yes, he's very much on it, trying to catch the pack, and he's done a good job. He's only got about a quarter of a lap now between him and the back of the pack. As we look, we've got a few cars close together now. Lil Yam and Danny Quaver close up the mountain. As we've got Domingo there coming through the dipper, Neil out the other side. So let's have a little recap of the positions then. On lap 17, Bidster in the lead. Callum there in 2nd place. TY 3rd. Neil 4th. Domingo just coming out the Forest Elbow onto the Conroe Straight in 5th place. Oh, and Mr. Slow One's lost it in the background. But yeah, Man of Steel 6th. Mr. Slow One 7th. Just made a little mistake there. Jamo in 8th. Seek 1, 9th place. Lil Yam 10th. Oh, Danny Quaver's lost it in the dipper. Oh no! Danny Quaver's absolutely lost it in the dipper. Unlucky there for Danny Quaver. as TY's into the pits, and there's Jay Houston. He can sense opportunity now. Still pushing on hard. As we've got, let's have a look here, we've got Neil and TY into the pits. So we'll see where they come out. Bidster still in control of this race. Still doing consistent lap times. 2 minute 5, 2 minutes 5, and then 2 minute 6. So good pace there from Bidster. As Callum there in second place, still 2 minute 2 minute 6.3, so even more consistent for Callum. There's Domingo in third place, TY fourth, Man of Steel fifth, Neil out the pits in sixth place, just ahead of Jamo, that's crucial. And then we've got Seek one there in eighth place, with Lil Yan behind him. Danny Quaver 10th, Jonesy Roar into the pits after that torrid spin that he had earlier. And then into the up the mountain, Jamo behind Neil Farmack. But Neil Farmack's just come out of the pits. Jamo's tyres are a lap old. Seek 1 and Lilian closing up now, so this is going to be a good battle here. Seek 1 close behind Jamo, up the mountain. Very fast corners these. One mistake and you're practically going to lose a lot of time as Seek 1 closes up to Jamo into the dipper. There's no way through the dipper unless Jamo makes a mistake, which there isn't. As they go out the other side and down towards the Forest Elbow, let's have a little look ahead. There's Neil Farmack 6th. Seek 1, oh right, let's have a look at Seek 1 because he was closing up to Jamo there on exit, so this could be a move on. Seek closing up to the back of Jamo, goes side by side with him up the Conrad straight. We've got a little kink right here, but then Jamo's on the correct side for the next one, but they've got to go side by side through this kink first. Brave stuff. Almost contact as Jamo's on the inside to defend and keeps the position. Good defensive driving there from Jamo, but that allows Lil to close up to his fellow Belgian. As he goes into the last corner, Liliam's up the inside, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make a move. No, backs out of it. Just thought he'd show the nose up the inside and just to try and put him off his stride. But nothing worked there. There's Seek 1, again close to Jamo. If you see the cars ghosting, it's just because the cars are trying to get rid of a little penalty that they've accumulated. But should be no issues as Jamo a bit slow out of that corner. Seek 1 coming through, and I think Liliam's going to try and, but yeah, Liliam practically bump drafting his fellow Belgian, and then he's going to try and go up the inside of Seek as well, try and make a little cheeky move up the inside, and he goes through. Good opportunistic driving there from Liliam, absolutely brilliant driving. As we see there, Jamo and Seek make a little bit of contact at the corner, but nothing too bad, and then Seek goes through as well. So Jamo practically mugged by both Belgians there in 2 corners. So good opportunistic driving there by Lilian, fantastic move, and pulled a little prank on his fellow Belgian there to take another place. I think Neil's just made a mistake. Just saw a load of tyre smoke there. I think that was Neil making a mistake because he's fallen right off the back of TY, so it must have been a mistake there from Neil. So unlucky there. Now let's have a look at the back. Look at this guy, Jay Houston. He's gone from a lap down with the boost, it's helped, and now he's catching up Jonesy Roar. So good racing there by Jay as Jonesy Roar comes out of the corner there, and you can see the boost of Jay Houston's car. Look at the speed he's closing up. It's insane. As they go into the top of the mountain, Jonesy Roar all over the place. Oh, Jonesy Roar's not liking that car. Oh, and almost puts Jay Houston into the wall. Side by side up the mountain. And Jonesy Roar keeps it for now, but I'm surely not for long because he's driving very erratically as Jay Houston tries to go up the inside into the mountain, and there's contact. Hits Jonesy Roar in the side. Jonesy Roar's practically doing ballet, but Jonesy Roar down to 13th, Jay Houston through to 12th. Don't know whether that was called for, but Jonesy Roar was all over the place. So leave that for the stewards to have a look at. And Jamo closing back up on the 2 Belgian boys now. No rest for the wicked. As he comes down over the start-finish straight. 20 laps done in this race. Into the first corner. Will he get a good run out of the corner? I think that's a yes. but so does Seek and Lil. They both get good runs themselves as they go up towards down the first straight towards the start of the mountain. It's a very long corner this, but still very easy to make a mistake as Lil Yan runs wide. Seek joins him. Jamo says, do that again, boys. Danny Quaver right up behind King Domingo now, so that's one to watch as well. Domingo fresh out the pits. Danny on a lap old tyres. So Domingo close up to the slotters. Seek and Lil make a little mistake there. Danny Quaver's closing up as well to the back of Domingo. And having a look up the inside. Oh, that was never going to work through there. Brave stuff by Danny, but that was never going to work through there. I've never seen a move pulled off through there that actually was held without contact. As speaking of contact, Jamo just has a little mating session with the wall. But all good there. As Domingo's right behind him now, piling the pressure on him. Fresh tyres. Probably going to go to the end of the race now because it's a 50-minute race. We're at 43 minutes, so there's not long left in this race now. There's King Domingo in the... Oh, and Jamo contact with Lil ahead. And wants to slow down. Seek one takes advantage, and so does Domingo. Jamo getting practically mugged there after that mistake. Bidster's into the pits from the lead. But we're going to stay with this for now because it's all happening. Oh, and Danny Quaver gives Jamo a little push saying, come on, get on with it. There's 6th gear. Coming down to the end of the Conrod straight. Over the curb. Into the braking zone. This is going to end in tears. Domingo's up the inside of Lil, but no, doesn't work. And Jamo tries to go on the outside of Domingo. That doesn't work either. And as we look at the Bidster, he's put a lot of fuel in for the last bit of the race. He's overfilled. He must have overfilled. Callum's around here somewhere. There he is! Out of the pits. Bidster's lost out to Callum. I think he's just overfilled his car there. So unlucky for Bidster there, but now the battle's on between Bidster and Callum. This is for the race win. I don't think any of these are pitting again, because Callum's got a lap old tyres. Callum was in last time round. Bidster's going to try and go on the outside. Don't know if this will work. He goes round the outside. He's going to try and stick round the outside. Surely that's not going to work. But no, it doesn't. Callum keeps the inside. Bidster has to give second best for now. Wonderful battle for the lead, but Bidster's put himself in this situation. He could have put a couple of laps less of fuel in to get away with it, but he's overfilled the car. But we'll see if he can do anything about Callum now. He's trying to stick with him. We'll just have a quick glance back at this battle here between Lil Yan and Domingo. I think Danny Quaver's gone into the pits, so that's separated this battle out a little bit. Domingo closes up to Lil Yan there, and Man of Steel closes up as well. But we've got to focus on this battle for the lead. Very important stuff as they go through the dipper, practically nose to tail. No move going to be made there, I think, because we'll have a little look at these lot coming through the dipper. Lil Yan 6th, Domingo 7th. Will it all stay like this? I don't think so. As they go through the dipper. Everyone very, very gently through there, not wanting to make a mistake, as Lil does. Lil makes a mistake, but I don't think anyone's going to make a move there. We've got Bidster and Callum close to the end of the straight. This is the battle for the lead. As they go down. Callum defends. Bidster's good on the brakes. Bidster goes round the outside of Callum. Fantastic move there from Bidster. Round the outside of Callum. Callum could do nothing about that. He defended, did all he could. Bidster, brave move around the outside there and takes the lead. Phenomenal move. Good stuff there by Bidster. We're going to have to see if he can pull a gap now in these last 5 minutes. As TY goes off a bit there. I think a bit of lag was involved. Domingo has got through past Lil Yan, Man of Steel, and that Man of Steel right behind Lil Yan now. Neil into the pits for a top off, and looks like Jamo and Seek are into the pits as well. Just to top off for the end, so just run off a bit on fuel, but luckily they can run light and try and catch up, so it's still all to play for. Let's see where Jay Houston's gone in all this. He's 11th, he might jump a few places here towards the end. Callum right behind Bidster now. Still not letting him go. Still anything could happen. One mistake is going to cost them the race. TY looks like he's cemented on 3rd now. Domingo in 4th. Man of Steel 5th. It's all a bit more spread out now after those other ones pitted, but I'm sure they'll close up in a few laps. And Neil there fresh out the pits with Mr. Slow on behind. He's on a lap old tyres, but they should all be going to the end of the race now. There's Jay Houston back up to 8th place. Good recovery as we watch Bidster and Callum through the end of the dipper down towards the Forest Elbow, and here's the other lot. Man of Steel leading that little pack, 5th, 6th. Neil right behind him. Oh, Man of Steel's on the grass. He's going to go wide, and Neil's going to go through. Yeah, Neil goes through. One mistake from Man of Steel's all it takes, and Neil up to 5th, but he's a bit scrappy through there himself, but just gets the car stopped. Well done for Neil there. Mr. Slow One 7th place. Good showing by Mr. Slow One, and look who that is. It's Jay Hewson. After missing the pit lane, having to go around an extra lap, he's had the boost, he's caught up, and he's back in 8th place. It's a good thing about the boost, it just keeps your race alive. Seat there in 11th place. Lillian 12th, and Jonesy Rowe rounds out the 13 as we look at Callum and Bidster coming through. So this should be the last lap, not count on it, but it should be the last lap. It's going to be very tight on time at the end. TY 3rd, King Domingo 4th. Looks like their positions are going to stay as long as no mistakes are made. Neil Farmack in 5th place, and everyone else battling for 6th. Man of Steel's going to... oh no, Man of Steel's short on fuel, and he's lost it into the pit lane as well. That's no good for Man of Steel. Oh no. One little mistake's all it takes, and he just needs to do a top off of fuel and tyres, and possibly change his tyres as well. So unlucky there for Man of Steel as the rest of the pack comes out of that first corner. There's Jamo, and there's Danny Craver passes Mr. Slow One, so Mr. Slow One must have made an error there. And there's Jay Hewson. Not got the boost that he had before now because he's in the mid pack. He has a little look at Mr. Slow One there, but no cigar there as they go up the mountain. Danny Craver behind Jamo, and Jay Hewson round the outside of Mr. Slow One makes it stick just with a bit of wall assist, but makes it stick as Mr. Slow One looks like he's tried to go a long time on those tyres. I think they must be destroyed. As seat 1 comes up behind Mr. Slow One now. But let's have a look at the Danny Craver and Jamo and Jay Hewson battle here. Jay Hewson looking for vengeance after that horrid pit stop incident he had, as he's looking around, darting the car left, right, trying to put the pressure on. I think this is going to be the last lap as they all come through towards the Forest Elbow, and round the Forest Elbow Danny Craver has a little look but just snakes the car on the brakes and just about gets through. Lillian has a little look at Seek, but here we are, the last corner. This is the last lap. Bidster wins the opening round of the Neo Racing Variety Series on GT Sport. Well done to Bidster there, good show from the previous champ. And Callum with him every step of the way, putting the pressure on. Good race from Callum also. TY is going to come through in 3rd place, and Domingo's going to be just about 4th, I think, from Neil Farmack. Yeah, Neil Farmack 5th, King Domingo 4th. Neil Farmack goes wide on the last corner. Danny Craver 6th, Jay Hewson 7th, and anyone else is going to be 8th. This is going to be a very close last corner. Lillian up the inside of Mr. Slow One into the last corner, and there's contact. Boom! He goes off, Lillian goes off as well. We'll get a review on that. But Danny Craver 6th, Jay Hewson 7th, Lillian just 8th from Seek, Man of Steel 10th, Mr. Slow One 11th, Jamo 12th. Oh no, Jamo's run out of fuel on the line. Oh no, Jamo must have run out of fuel on the last lap, and Jonesy Rowe's going to come through in 13th as well. So good race. Here's a replay of some action on the last lap as we go down to come on straight into the chicane, and seat 1 goes off in the background. Danny Craver's ahead of Jay Hewson. Jay Hewson goes sideways at the last corner, and then seat rejoins in the background. Right, here's the last bit of the last lap on board with Lillian, so he's having a little look at Seek. He's not alongside, and then just goes straight for it, and Seek turns in, so there weren't a gap there at all, and just sends Seek straight off. So that's incident number 1, and then we'll stay on board with Lillian as Jamo makes a mistake at last corner because he's run out of fuel. And Mr. Slow One back on the track, and then Lillian goes up the inside, he's alongside. And oh no, Mr. Slow One just went wide on his own, no contact made. But Mr. Slow One just went wide on his own, so unlucky there, but Lillian gets 8th place. Now here's an onboard from Mr. Slow One, you see behind us, Seat 1 and Lillian, so into the corner, they take each other off. A little take seek off there, and then in front of us, Jamo here, unluckily just runs out of fuel. Mr. Slow, one wrong place, wrong time, goes round on the curb. We see Lillian there behind us, and just error of the opportunist, goes up the inside, and then no contact. Mr. Slow and just loses the back end on his own, unlucky there, and that's what happened. Well, so good race there by all. Bidster is your winner. We will see you guys next time. Take care.